Welcome to Safe Living, the program that brings you and your family the expert information you need to maximize your chances of living a long, healthy, and pleasurable life. I'm Nicole Beret. This week, we will feature 3 stories that will open your eyes to some hidden dangers and allow you to act with confidence to prevent potentially deadly accidents, both at home and in your travels. First, we'll be taking you on a cruise. Sounds like fun, doesn't it? Well, for many vacationers, it is. But cruises also have inherent risks that you need to be aware of, and safety steps you need to understand and follow. Dave Nelson reports in our cover story, SOS. Next, with Thanksgiving and then Christmas just around the corner, most of us are already hungry for that time-honored tradition, the holiday feast, starring that perfect turkey. Deep fat frying can lead to a beautiful and delicious main dish for your family and friends to enjoy. But in far too many cases, turkey frying has led to tragedy. It will be my personal pleasure to bring you the facts and the best safety practices in bird danger. Finally, in Driven to Distraction, Janet Ivey hones in on that new terror on the roadways, drivers who text. She'll tell us about the latest provocative research on the dangers of texting, surfing the web, and even that mainstay of modern life, talking on the phone while you drive. And we'll learn about new responses to these dangers from governments, businesses, communities, and a few unlikely activists with deep personal reasons to care. We'll get started in a moment. All around the world, cruise vacations have never been more popular. About 19 million people took a cruise last year, and most passengers came back with great memories and a tan. A few, however, weren't quite so fortunate. Let's discover the steps you can take to ensure that your next cruise experience is rich in enjoyment with minimal risks.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. May I have your attention? May I have your attention, please, for a very important announcement. In about 5 minutes' time, there'll be a line over over all guests and for those crew members appointed to assist and guide guests during an emergency.
It's a rite of passage for cruise ship passengers, the muster drill that begins every journey. But this drill is much more than a ritual. It's one of the safety essentials for life at sea, even when you're just staying for a few days. You'll learn how to don your life jacket and find out which lifeboat you'll be assigned to. The greatest danger to your safety on any marine vessel is fire, and cruise ships are far from immune. In fact, just a few months ago, a fire broke out in the engine room in the Allure of the Seas, the world's largest cruise ship and the pride of the Royal Caribbean Line. When you consider that a cruise ship carries hundreds of thousands of gallons of fuel, as well as many other flammable materials, it's no surprise that fire poses a deadly threat, and the risks are only increased with thousands of passengers on board. You and your family need to be prepared to evacuate calmly, efficiently, and safely. Know how to get to your lifeboat muster station, not just from your stateroom, but from the dining areas, the pool, and any other places on the cruise ship that you frequent. Remember, too, that elevators may not be working during a fire or another emergency, so learn the routes using the stairs. During the muster drill, pay careful attention and ask questions about any points you aren't sure you understand. Your life and those of your loved ones could depend on your ability to respond correctly to an emergency. There's another threat lurking on the ship that you need to be aware of: rapidly spreading illness, especially severe stomach bugs. No one wants to spend their vacation in the bathroom. Viruses can move with amazing speed through the passengers, leading to, at best, an unpleasant experience, but potentially a serious condition that may require emergency attention. The best way to protect yourself against even the most advanced virus is surprisingly simple. Many stomach viruses enter your body when you bring an item you've touched, like food or a drinking glass, to your mouth. So wash or sanitize your hands at every opportunity throughout the day. A few moments spent on sanitation will do wonders to ensure that the rest of your time aboard and onshore is a pure pleasure. Even though cruise ship illness and emergency incidents are rare, take the time and measures you need to ensure a safe trip. Bon voyage!
Now let's make another journey down the Mississippi to New Orleans. to meet a turkey frying expert who will show us how to create a memorable dish with maximum protection. For 50 years, New Orleans native Dick Thibodeau has fried turkeys for Thanksgiving, Christmas, Saints games, and other occasions in the endless round of festivals, parties, and family celebrations that define life in Louisiana. Dick knows turkeys, and he knows his equipment, this well-loved fryer and peanut oil. But he also knows the dangers of frying gone wrong with an out-of-control fire hot enough to melt plastic furniture or vinyl siding. So what's the next step? You just drop it in?
No, that's the one thing you don't do. First thing you have to do is measure how much oil you put in it. That's the big thing in frying turkeys. You don't want that oil to overflow into the flames. That's when the big problems arise. So we're going to do a little test here, and things we've learned over the years, and that's how to test how much oil to put in the cooker. And we do that by first, oh, look, that turkey's even talking to us.
He wants to fly away.
He doesn't like it already. So we put the turkey in dry. Now we're going to fill it up full of water up to where it just barely covers it. Once we got that, then we pull the turkey out, measure where that water level is.
Do we have a pen, or you just sort of look at it, or how do you mark it?
Well, you look at it and you tell me how you're going to remember, because you're going to have to remember where that is.
Oh, it's my responsibility
Yep,
to remember
yep.
now. Okay, I think I got it.
Okay, this is what I use. I go down there, it just touches there. That's where my line is. Dump the water out, and we know where to now to bring the oil up to so it doesn't overflow. Perfect. How about that, Nicole? The oil is correct. We're trying to get this as dry as possible. She's doing a bang-up job of getting all the water out. And the more water we can get out, the less violent the reaction will be when it hits that hot oil. Everybody's has their way of seasoning. This is mine.
So you just cover every inch, and
Everything
sort of baste it in the sauce.
yeah.
All right, so just sprinkle it on. There. Yeah, this is gonna make it real good. All right, this is actually a really handsome-looking turkey you got there.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that?
Kenny, a friend of mine, raises turkeys, and I get them almost exclusively from him.
Would you recommend using a frozen turkey or a turkey from the store?
Yes, you can do it.
Yeah.
Frozen, no. Big, no. Capital letters, no. Frozen turkey and oil will just cause all kinds of problems that we don't want. The main thing is do not put a frozen turkey in that hot oil because it will explode.
All right, well, thanks to Kenny, we got a good-looking bird. So the next step is to just put the bird in?
Well, not quite. We need to shut off the fire. We don't want that fire on when we put the turkey into the oil because it will splatter.
So our fire's off, the oil is ready, the turkey's seasoned, we dried it off. I think the next step is to put it in?
Put it in the oil.
All right, well, I'll let you do the honors.
All righty, thank you. This is where it could get exciting. So we're going to do this as slowly and carefully as possible.
Now, should I stand back a little?
I'd stand back a little bit because it's going to splatter, I'm sure.
You want to make sure you put it in nice and gentle, right?
Nice and gentle. No ripples, no splash. Now we're getting in there. Now we got it all the way down.
And so then, what happens next?
Now we light the fire back up. Now we're sure that's not going to overflow, and it's not splattering too bad. We'll light the fire back up and try and hold it at 350.
Nice.
All right, Nicole, I think temperature looks right. I think we've cooked it about all we can do.
Ooh, now
so
is the
it's
moment
time
of truth.
to take it out. The
Yes,
moment of truth
moment
is
of
right.
truth.
All right.
Oh my gosh, look how gorgeous.
The
Perfect.
golden turkey.
It's time. You have a piece too, you know.
No, I'm going to see why you like it first.
That is so delicious.
It's pretty good.
You are one
Very
good
good.
turkey fryer,
Thank
Dick,
you,
Dick
thank you.
Thibodeau.
Thank you.
This year, some 36,000 of us will die tragically on the back roads and highways of the U.S. That's the equivalent of 120 jumbo jets with over 300 people each crashing with no survivors. Hard to believe that we accept this as a normal part of life. In Driven to Distraction, Janet Ivey discovers how one totally preventable threat is causing close to 30% of these fatalities and accidents: your smartphone.
The dangers of using a cell phone while driving are clearly demonstrated through an extensive and growing body of research. A study in the New England Journal of Medicine focused on drivers who owned cell phones and had traffic accidents, and they found that drivers using cell phones were 4 times more likely to have accidents. Research conducted by scientists from the University of Utah is more revealing, perhaps even shocking. A research team at the University of Utah compared the dangers of driving under the influence of alcohol and cell phones. The research subjects used a simulator that provided realistic depictions of road conditions, landscapes, and traffic. The subjects drove sober and off the phone, intoxicated and off the phone, and sober while using the phone. The subjects using the phone proved just as likely to have accidents as those who were intoxicated. The Utah study also begins to show us why talking on the phone puts you and others at risk. While drivers on cell phones and drunk drivers were equally likely to have accidents, their behaviors while driving were quite different. The intoxicated drivers were more aggressive, driving at high speeds and leaving little distance between themselves and other vehicles. The drivers on cell phones acted in the opposite manner, driving more slowly than usual and leaving more space between themselves and others. It's as if these drivers realized that they would react to changing traffic and road conditions more slowly because they were distracted by their calls.
Thank you for joining us on Safe Living. We hope that this information has provided you the insight and knowledge you need to keep yourself and your family healthy and safe at home, on the job, and while on the road. Join us next week when we will be featuring 3 eye-opening stories on plastic water bottles. Are they safe? Flu vaccines. Do they really work? And prescription drug overdoses. What can you do to keep yourself safe? I'm Nicole Beret, wishing you a great day and an even safer tomorrow.